Hello and welcome to Dental Speaker Institute Faculty Spotlight. I'm the founder of Dental Speaker Institute, and I am super excited to be here today with faculty member Sara Connell. Hey, Sara.
Hello, thanks for having me.
Oh my gosh, I'm so excited for this. I'm thrilled that you're a faculty member and can't wait to talk about your course. So let me share with you, our audience member, that Sara speaks about how to write a best-selling book that changes lives in less than 3 months. And I know several of our DSI members are working with you or have worked with you and have just raved about the process. And you have a really special course that you are actually gifting to Dental Speaker Institute members, which is so exciting. I can't wait to take this. I'm excited to write a book with you myself. I have not told you that until just this moment, but I'm super excited to write my next book with you. So let's, without further ado, let's jump in. And before we talk about, why speakers and consultants would want to write a book and about that process and how you solve it, can you just tell us a little bit more about you and why are you teaching this topic? I mean, how did you get to this point?
Well, thank you so much. And again, having met some of your members and getting to know you, it is an absolute joy to be part of this organization. I'm thrilled. And I'm here, I teach this work because 17 years ago, I was working in a job that turned out to be abusive, unfortunately, sexually abusive. It was very much of that Me Too era. And I was a young woman just out of college and I felt really trapped and I didn't know how to get out of it. And I was really avoiding dealing with the situation by starving myself, by binging and getting into a lot of like unhealthy health patterns. And I started to feel like I was dying inside. Some of you might have been in, experiences like that. And I found a book in the Boston airport one day randomly. I didn't have time to read the back. I just grabbed it, paid for it, got on the plane. And in reading this book, my entire life changed.
Wow.
And I had a profound experience. I found the right story at the right time. And I realized in that moment that I needed to do something drastic and, get out of the situation I was in. I went and sought help. I left the job and really recreated my life. And what that showed me was I'd always loved books. I'd always wanted to be a writer, but it proved to me that actually one person sharing their story or their method or their genius can save a life.
Yeah.
And I vowed at that point, that was what I wanted to dedicate the rest of my life to. So I learned I went back to school and I became a published author myself. And that led to being on Oprah and the New York Times and all these like really exciting things that authors love to have happen. But really deeply importantly was that I was able to pay forward the gift that other author gave to me and help others who have life-changing missions, like those of you that are in this group that are out on the front lines of healthcare, on the front lines of innovation through a pandemic, all kinds of things that your industry has experienced, be able to make that positive impact on people. So that's the why behind what we do and why I feel so passionately about making sure that, as I know you might have heard this, over 200 million people a year in America say they want to write a book. Like, oh yeah, someday, I'd love to write a book or I'll write it's a lot of us we know we have a book inside us. But we think, who has the time and it's overwhelming. And do I really want this? Do I want to put in the work? All those pieces. And so my mission is to break down the process so that it becomes easy, clear, hopefully even enjoyable, and that your work gets out and does the impact that it's here to do.
200 million people. Wow, that's a lot. And thank you for sharing that. That's very inspiring. And I think that would speak to many dental speakers and consultants because they're passionate about dentistry, either clinically or the business side or whatever topic that, is just that they feel in their gut, that they feel pulled toward, they feel pulled to share from the platform, that it makes sense that it would also benefit those in our audiences to read or hear on Audible or something like that, to be able to digest that information in a different way. Can you talk to me about what are some of the challenges that a speaker or consultant might be facing that writing a book could help them with?
100%. So a lot of people feel like they're a well-kept secret. In their own world, people know them, they value the work, but they aren't seen maybe as the industry expert or leader that they know themselves to be. So one of the things, like, more visibility and in an authentic way. A lot of us are here. I'm guessing most people here, because I've met some of you, are here for the passion, here for the love of the work and helping others. And
100%.
it's not about, oh, I want to be on a stage, I want to be in TV. And so we resist the visibility. But the downside is the people who really need the message and the learning or the insights don't get it. And
Yeah.
so something a book can do is can be very heartfelt, very personal, very authentic, and you make a deep emotional connection with that reader. And whether that reader is other dentists and people in your industry, or it's people that support this industry, or they're people in other fields that are learning from the innovations happening in this field as you're a consultant and you're out speaking. It can also just straight up help you boost the kinds of speaking engagements you book. We'll talk about this in the course and at the conference, but you generally 80% of speakers that are booked and paid are authors. People look for, they want to have that box checked, best-selling author Vanessa, is here with us. And we do very much intend from the beginning that each of our books is a bestseller. And so far in the last 2 years, 100% of our authors who just did the step-by-step process that we have hit that goal on the first day of their book launch. So we don't want people writing a book that one person reads. We really want the message to be shared, whether that's in a niche, group or the general public.
Right, right. I mean, there's so many ways it can help speakers and consultants. I think just even the idea of writing the book to be able to give it away to planners, right? To give it away to potential clients. I mean, there's
Yes.
so many ways that you can utilize it. Well, tell us more about this course and what do we learn in that course?
So the great thing about the course, we're going to have a good amount of time. We'll have a full half day together. And so I'm going to walk everyone through actually what people who come into our 12-month program. Like, the very first step that we start with is looking at, what is this book that you would write? Because sometimes we have an idea. There's a book, but it's like, what actually is going in this book, and what's the big idea? What's that central theme, and how would I structure this book? And the idea is that, honestly, by the end of our 3 hours together, you will know what book you're writing. You will have a kind of bullet point outline. You'll know the structure, because, right, we could do a very story-driven structure. We could do a very how-to. We could be very didactic, or we could be very narrative. So the point of the workshop in the class is to really help you identify your legacy best-selling book idea, to know and be empowered at what's in it. And then I have a thing called the magic equation, which is how you break it down and write that book in the time frame you desire without stress. So whether that's 12 weeks, like a lot of our clients choose to do the book quickly, or it's 6 months, whatever you want it to be, how you can break that down so that it can happen easily without overwhelm and fit into your life.
Wow. That's a lot for half a day that we'll walk away. I mean, especially for a course thank you so much for gifting that to us, to be able to help us know how to take those next steps, how to move forward. I had a question and now it's gone out of my head. So I'm going to ask you instead, where do we go to find out about this course?
Yep. So we are going to have this completely free for everyone here. And it will be on my website, which the link I know will appear here, but it's just saraconnell.com. And I do spell my name without an H. So it's SARA.CONNELL.com. And you'll see a tab at the top says events. So the page will be there. You get to register for free, and it'll let you know the upcoming dates, which the first one will be in the spring. So you can book that if it works for you, or look for a subsequent course if that is not an ideal date. We will also record. So if you want to register and you can't attend live, but you do want to access the recording, we will gift that as well, so that, or you want to refer back to it. I think it's helpful. I like being able to refer back to things if I'm getting a lot of information in one day.
That's really great. I do remember my question now. My thought was, if I know should write a book, I feel like I should write a book, but I'm not really sure what I want to write about. It could be several things. Do you help us identify that, or do we need to
Yes.
have a pretty good idea?
No, come with a million. So we do a thing called the whiteboard in the beginning of the course, and we're going to get I'm going to offer a process that I take my clients through to get all the different ideas that are swirling around out of your head and into a place where you can see them. And then I lead you through a sort of diagnostic process where you're able to identify what really is the one you most want to do and the one that you feel will make the impact you want to make. And we have a really nice process to do that, because that's one of the top challenges for these 200 million people that say, I know there could be 10 books. I don't know which one. So absolutely, that's a crucial part at the very beginning.
So come as you are, come where you are, come
Right.
just come to learn, come to decide if this is the right next step for you. And if so, like, to learn how to help make it happen. This is an amazing gift. Thank you so much for that. And so again, the website is saraconnell.com. And I will put the link down below. And if you have questions, reach out to Sara. And her email is Sara, S-A-R-A period, Connell, C-O-N-N-E-L-L, @gmail.com. And she'll be able to help answer. And if you want to find out about working with her as a coach and writing your book, or if you want to find out more about any of her events, that would be the way to reach out to her. Sara, before we leave, is there anything we haven't talked about that would be important for us to share with our viewer today about this course or this idea of writing a book?
So I just think about just inviting everyone to maybe, even when you're just taking a walk today or doing the laundry or something mundane, to maybe reflect back, has there ever been a podcast interview or a speaker that you've heard or a book that had that kind of impact, in some way, maybe wasn't quite as dramatic as mine, where you're really spiraling, but really changed something important for you?
Sure.
Because the reason I asked that question, when we sometimes think about writing our own book, we think, well, I'm not, Toni Morrison or Oprah Winfrey or Deepak Chopra, I'm not, Tim Ferriss. And the thing that I've found after coaching thought leaders and speakers and consultants for 17 years is that if there's a book in you, there is people, a person, a million people, some people in the world who right now are sourcing that book. They actually need it. And so I think that's the thing I want to leave everyone with. Like, if there's a yes in you, and we all know, like Vanessa, you're like, I've got another book. We can feel it. And just to yes it, not figure out the how. We will share a how in this course. We will share, there's lots of hows and there's roadmaps that work. But to know that there is a call and response in the universe, and your book is needed. And so I just offer that if that resonates and there's a yes there, to just say, okay, it gets to be easy, and I'm going to be given the steps, and it gets to happen.
It will unfold. Yeah. 1000%. Love that. Love spending time with you, Sara. Can't wait to see you at Jumpstart. When this podcast lands, it'll be just days before our Jumpstart 2022 conference, where you will be speaking about this topic for us as a keynoter, and we can't wait to see you there. Thank you so much for being a faculty member with Dental Speaker Institute's fellowship program. Really appreciate you. Thank you guys for watching, and feel free to reach out with any questions. If you have questions about the curriculum or a fellowship program, you can reach me at info@thedentalspeaker.com. Until next time, be well, enjoy your new year, and we'll see you soon. Thanks, Sara.
Thank
Bye.
you.